Thank you for watching Chicharupa Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson, teaching you ways to modify exercise so that everybody can find what works for them. We're going to look at some chair yoga today for beginners. So if you've never done this before, this is the place for you. Especially those of you who are used to doing regular yoga. If you've never done it in the chair before, I think you'll find it a bit enlightening. I find personally that the chair allows us to get different leverage and really enhances certain poses. And you can look for more of those in the description below the video. Make sure you have a nice sturdy chair that's not going to rock and roll on you. We are going to be standing for part of this, pressing down on the chair to help us with balance, so don't get something that's going to fall over. If you pull on it, get something nice and strong and sturdy. Also on a nice non-slick surface. And since this is yoga, we generally do it barefoot, but if you want to keep your shoes on, you can also do it with your shoes on. All right, this is going to keep us from getting down on the floor. We're going to use our chair in some ways that hopefully are different than you've done before if you have done chair yoga. Please do me a favor as you're getting yourself in that nice safe space. Make sure to hit that subscribe button in the lower right corner of the video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button so more people can find it. And let me know in the comments if you would rather have some more chair yoga classes, and if you do, what level of beginner, intermediate, or advanced you'd like to do in the chair, or if you personally prefer the mat yoga classes, so that I'll know what kind of things to plan in the future. We're going to begin seated in our chair, about halfway forward on it. We want our sit bones kind of right in the center of our chair, pressing into the chair. Then we're going to find our knees about hip distance apart, and two of our own fists gets our knees hip distance apart. Hopefully they're straight out from there. And then we want to take our ankles right underneath our knees. Meanwhile, we want to stack shoulders over hips, relaxing them down, hands in our lap. And let's close our eyes. We always begin our yoga by just taking a few deep breaths. And today, take them any way you want to. And we're going to let our chin come to our chest. Following our breath, let's inhale our chin up, exhale our chin down. Just getting in touch with our own breath here. Bringing our chin to our chest. Let's roll side to side. Nice and slow across our chest. While we're doing this, we can check in with how our body is feeling. Now let's sit up tall, and we're just going to exhale, roll forward. Inhale, come back up, shoulders over hips. Exhaling forward, inhaling up. This gets us in touch with our breath, starts moving our body. Let's lift up, take our legs a little wide, and we're just going to move side to side. So reach one hand to the ceiling, other arm to our leg. I always start with a flowing warm-up in all of my yoga classes. Full spinal warm-up. And let's go ahead and bring this up tall, hands at our knees. We're going to inhale up tall, exhale like we're going to kiss one knee and then the other. Inhale up and circle. We'll do this 3 times this way. And then we'll do it 3 times starting at the other knee. I think that's 3. Let's bring this forward again, hip distance. We're going to scoot a little further forward on our chair, reaching back to clasp our chair, and let's really open across our chest. Feeling our heart open, taking several deep breaths again. Let's really fill up across our ribs and heart, squeezing out through our belly. How about one more big breath? let's go ahead and stand up. We'll get next to our chair. And we'll start with a downward facing dog pose using our chair. So we want to have our hands in the center of our chair, right towards the edges, not off, but on. For this one, for downward dog, we're going to step ourselves back, push our heels back, hips back, so that our hips come over our ankles, pressing our tailbone back and up. So our weight is firmly over our feet. Let's shift forward, stepping in. Now we want to keep our shoulders over our wrists. We do not want them to come out in front, but stay over as we step back to a plank. So everything up there is going to stay the same. We're just going to step back. So now all our weight is on our arms and our hands. Let's step this in just a little bit, push our hips back. So now that our weight is distributed over our feet, so this is a stretch. This one is work, shoulders over wrists. You can even stay here or take it back a little further to make it more challenging. And let's go ahead and step in to where we've got shoulders over wrists, hips over feet, and let's extend one leg straight back. And perhaps lift the opposite hand off the chair, or even reach it forward. Let's bring our hand down and then our foot, extending the other leg back. And again, just lifting the other hand a little bit off the chair or reaching it forward. Everybody finding what works for them. Bringing that down here. Let's lift up. Make sure you get water throughout your workout as well. We're going to look at pyramid pose using our chair. So we're going to step, let's take our right leg forward, left leg back just a little bit. And we're going to keep both legs straight, hinging at our hips. We'll bring our hands to the chair. Now those of you who are more advanced, checking out this video today, if you want to take your hands down to your leg or the floor, you know what you're doing. But for this, we can actually leverage in the chair, draw the left hip back forward and the right hip backward to enhance this a little bit. We can even lift our right toes and get more of a stretch down the back of our leg. And let's go ahead and place that down, coming forward, knee over ankle. Now let's lift up to a warrior one, which can be hands at our heart or overhead. So let's bring this back again, straighten our leg, coming forward, left hip forward, right hip back, and we'll take our right hand to the center of our chair. Let's turn our left toes out just a little bit, opening up to our triangle. So we can lift here, we can take our hand to our hip, or even our lower back. Just whatever you do with your arm, focus on movement of that left shoulder up to the ceiling. Depending on our balance, we can look up, but you can also keep looking straight ahead or even down. I find that looking down at something on the floor helps me ground and stay better balanced. But that's me. All right, let's unwind from here, turning our toes back in. And we'll come back up to the warrior one. And let's step this in. So, other leg back. We're going to start with our legs straight, hinging forward. So now our left leg is forward, right leg back. So we're going to draw the left hip back and the right hip forward. Lifting our left toes if we want to take this deeper. This is one way we can leverage the chair for those who are advanced, even though this is beginner yoga for chair yoga for beginners. Let's go ahead and bring that down, knee over the ankle for our warrior one. And we'll take this back to the chair, straight leg. And this time we'll bring our left hand to the center of our chair. We want to keep our shoulder over our wrist, turn our right toes out. And again, opening up here, here, 4 here, focused on movement of our shoulder. And let's unwind back to our pyramid, turn our toes in, finding our warrior. And let's step this up, shake it all out. We're going to stay standing and just looking at a standing balance pose with variations. Again, while this is a beginner level class, I am going to show something that could be beginner level depending on the beginner, but maybe more advanced as well. So let's get beside our chair so we can push down on the chair if we need to. So the first way we can use our chair, shift our weight to one leg and lift our leg up, is holding on to the chair here. Another variation, if we feel good, is to take our foot into the chair. So our feet are still hip distance this way, both facing forward. And this is a way that we can maybe let go. As you see, there's still some wobbling going on here as we balance. So let's switch to the other side, lifting the knee up, focused on balancing here. Or if you feel comfortable with it, we'll take the foot to the chair. Still keeping that hip distance, focused. And just pressing on the back of the chair to bring that down, or just coming down. So let's come around, we'll have a seat in our chair again. We'll look at some deep stretches. So let's take our legs wide. We're going to press open at mid-thigh and bring our heart forward. So those who are feeling this can turn their toes forward and even lift up off the chair if you want to go there. Wherever we are, let's breathe. And we're going to lift up, taking one arm to our thigh, reaching the other for the ceiling. Let's keep pressing this sit bone actively into the chair, taking our gaze wherever it works for us. And let's lift up. We're going to take that arm on top as we give ourselves a big hug. And we might even open up and touch the backs of our hands. Let's release from here. We're going to side stretch, other side. Remember, pushing this sit bone into the chair, reaching for the ceiling, breathing. And let this up, that arm on top for our big hug. Or maybe we touch the backs of our hands on this side. We often will find something that works better on one side than the other. Let's release from here, bringing our knees back to hip distance. And again, making sure that we're up on those sit bones, stacked up tall. And let's cross one leg at the ankle and bring our heart forward. So we also have the option of bringing it above our knee and bringing our heart forward. So this is one of the ones where using the chair can get us some leverage that gets us in a safe position for our pigeon pose and gives us a bit more intensity in our stretch than some of our pigeons that we do on the floor. This is one of my favorite ways to do pigeon pose. And there's a link to even more details on how to do it in the description below. So we're going to lift up tall, and wherever our leg is, let's leave it there. So if it's crossed at the knee, leave it there. If it's crossed at the ankle, leave it there. We're going to twist toward that leg. Hand to our thigh. Other hand, since we're sitting a little forward on our chair, it can press onto the back of the seat of our chair. And let's look over our shoulder. Lifting our spine, crown of our head to the ceiling. Let's unwind this. And we'll switch sides. So crossing at the ankle, bringing our heart forward, and each side can be different. We can get our leg up on one side and not the other. See what happens, and then just find what works. Pressing our heart forward, keeping this foot relaxed. Wherever we are, we should breathe. We should be able to breathe easily. Now let's go ahead and sit this up. We'll twist toward that side. Opposite hand to our thigh, other hand pushing into the seat of the chair behind us, looking over our shoulder, lifting ourselves up as tall as we can get. Releasing from there. Let's bring our knees down, reaching back to the back of our chair. Let's really open up across our chest this time. And some of us might even clasp our hands behind us to get this even more intense. Whichever way you want to do this. Now let's release from here. We're going to come forward. See if we can give our legs a big hug, tucking our chin. From here, let's sit all the way back in our chair. Lifting one knee up toward our chest. Let's begin to breathe a little deeper, other knee to chest. Now we'll release that leg down. Let's reach overhead, big long stretch. You can take your legs out too if you want. But let's take one foot in opposite hand and rotate both ways. Try the other side. And then we're going to scoot all the way back in our chair so that we can relax against our chair. We can even place a pillow at our lower back. I find it to be a little more comfortable to separate the knees a little more, feet a little forward so that we're not going to slide out of our chair. Relaxing our shoulders down, hands in our lap. Now let's finish with a little relaxation, and we'll call this Shavasana in our chair. Closing our eyes, allowing our legs to grow heavy in our chair, arms relaxing, and we can soften across our belly and chest, feeling the support of the chair underneath us, making sure to leave a little space in our jaw. And just balancing out all the activity of our practice with some rest. Easy breathing. And feel free to pause the video, stay here as long as you want. When you are ready to come out, we'll just start wiggling our fingers and toes, moving up our arms and legs, maybe sitting off the back of the chair, just kind of moving whatever way you're inspired to move. And we'll come back to where we started, halfway forward in our chair, sitting up tall, and just seeing how our body is feeling here. If it's feeling better, hit that thumbs up button under the video. Remember, leave me some comments letting me know if you want more chair yoga and what level, or if you prefer mat yoga and what level. And please do subscribe to the channel if you watch regularly. Ask your friends, family to subscribe as well. I would very much appreciate it. I'll see you next time.